you, Shoji. Hello, everyone. Good morning. I hope everybody has joined in. Just waiting for a minute or two so that whoever is joining in can join in and then we can start for today's session. Good morning, Saminathan. For the studies going on?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. Study is going on very good, sir.
Very good. All the classes are uh, insightful.
Yes, sir. Very useful, sir.
Okay, good, good. Good to know. Okay, so let's start for today's session. Uh, Give me a second. The topic for the day is accounting and technology, right? So it is all about, how we are operating in this, fast changing world, leveraging the technology which is, getting updated every day, right? So that is the session all about today. What different technologies, are there to help the accountants to, ease their job, right? So all that we are going to discuss today. So the good part on today's topic is that we don't need to get into any accounting entries. We don't need to get into any calculations. So calculators are relaxed, and we don't need to learn any accounting for today, neither for any disclosures, right? So that's the easy thing we are going to do today. So, just to give you a brief about this chapter, which has recently been is introduced in the curriculum of the CA final subject. So, what we are going to discuss within this chapter, right? So, how the accounting has been evolved, right? So, some sort of background, how the accounting unit started, when it started, who started it, and how it is progressed and where we are today, right? So that we will discuss briefly, just a historical background of the accounting. Thereafter, we will see where we are today in terms of using the technology in our accounting work, right? So are we doing the accounting all manually, or it is a combination of the manual efforts as well as the technology or the softwares, or it is completely automated today, right? And if it is getting automated, so what do you mean by the automation process, right? What are the benefits of getting the accounting automated, right? So what is the benefits we are achieving or realizing in automation process? What are the challenges which we are still facing in the automation process, right? So if we are doing the automation, but there are certain challenges which we need to address on a continuous basis, right? And then there is a new concept emerge lately is a robotic process automation, RPA. So I will discuss how practically in practical life companies are using RPAs, right, to get their accounting job done easily and efficiently. Then the next concept is cloud computing, right? So what do you mean by the cloud computing? That we will understand. We will see some used cases in the practical life for the cloud computing, and then we will see if there are any benefits which are attracting a lot of companies towards cloud computing, right? And what are the challenges still we are facing in cloud computing, right? So we will go by one on these terms. Then ERPs we have been hearing for quite some time, right? So this is not a new term. We know, earlier we used to do our accounting in a tally is also kind of ERP only, right? Then there are many more softwares like SAP, right? Fusion. So there are many softwares, Oracle, right? So what is ERP? What are the benefits of the ERP? How ERP system works? That we will understand to certain extent. We are not, getting specialized in terms of, how the technical design of these technologies or the softwares is, but we will, just intimate us with their, operating model, how they are actually, helping us in getting the job done, right? And then there are certain steps we need to have or follow for integrating internal controls over the financial reporting process within the ERP, right? So these are the things which we'll learn today. Then, if we are using the technology and if we are using the internet, right? So there is a threat to use that. So always, everything comes with some advantages and some disadvantages, right? So while the manual process, requires too much time on the part of human being, but if we are leveraging the technology, then there are certain other risks which we are carrying. So one of them is the cyber security, right? So you must have been hearing there have been some incidents in the past, for example, approx 6 to 8 months, 10 months back, there was a news that somebody has attacked, the AIMS, All India Medical Institute software, right? I'm not sure to what extent it was true, but they have asked some ransom money, right? So these cyber security or cyber threats, are always there if we are not implementing the adequate firewalls in our systems, right? So what are the common cyber security threats which we are risking in terms of when we are leveraging our accounting work, which is very confidential data about the company, because it has all the data about the company's strategic initiatives, strategic decisions the company is going to implement in future, and their financial statements and financial data, which is not yet made public, right? So if that is to the that is prone to the risk, then we need to understand what those risks are and how those can be measured or mitigated, right? So what are the measures which we can take to mitigate these cyber security risks? So that also we need to understand. Then new technology which has come up recently in last 5 to 6 years, or maybe approximately 10 years, is blockchain. So you must have heard the term Bitcoin and other similar coins which are operating on the blockchain technology, right? So blockchain is another technology which is a game changer if it is successful in terms of getting implemented and getting a go ahead by all the countries across the globe, right? So it will transform the way we work today to altogether new experience. So blockchain, we will briefly touch base what blockchain means and how, what it is doing, and then the lastly artificial intelligence, right? So AI. So today is the world migrating or shifting to AI. So everything is getting done by AI. So you must have heard, some news that, AI is being, the biggest investment theme for, upcoming 5 years, 10 years across the globe, right? So massive, expenses or massive investments are being done by the large, MNCs into the AI, right? You must have been using some hands-on experience on the Chat GPT, DeepSeek, all these apps which are readily available for to use, right? By now, I hope everybody must have used, these apps for certain desired outputs. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. I'm using ChatGPT.
You are using Chat GPT. Okay. So that's all the brief overview what we are going to talk today, right? So let's dive into the details. So evolution of accounting. So what do you think? How old accounting is? Since when we started doing the accounting? Any guesses?
No, sir, I'm not ready, but we started with single entry system, I believe.
Hmm. So have you ever heard the Uh, Chanakya. Who was the Chanakya?
Yeah, Chanakya, how did Chanakya, he written that the Arthashastra.
Yeah. So in India, Chanakya was the person who has written a book named as Arthashastra, which contained few detailed aspects about maintaining the books of accounts for the sovereign state, right? Because, whoever, is the ruler, they, collect some sort of, taxes, right, from the public for, using the public utilities or for any facilities they are using, right? So some sort of revenue generation was always there, be it ancient times or be it today, right? Today we are paying the income taxes, right? We are paying the GST, which is being used by the governments for upgrading the infrastructure across the country, right? So that people can use those facilities for better living, right? So that is the whole concept, right? Now, in the ancient time, so how long back this is, Chanakya and Mauryan Empire was approximately 2500 years back, right, from today. So he written a book, Arthashastra, which contained how basic accounting aspects needs to be dealt with, so that the emperor can maintain the revenue records, how much to collect from whom, right? So basically, that was the very purpose of this. Apart from India, accounting has been traced back to some ancient civilizations like Egypt, Greeks, Romans, right? So all these civilizations also were doing some sort of, account keeping or accounting or bookkeeping, right? For the tax purposes, that is for collecting and paying the taxes to the emperor, right? Respective emperors, or for management of the government resources. So at that time, there was no government as such, what we understand in today's concept government means. But at that time, there were always rulers, right? Then then a person came, Italian Luca Paccoli, recognized as the father of accounting and the bookkeeping, was the first person to publish a work on the double entry bookkeeping, right? So what we are doing today, basically what we are doing is double entry, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So this concept was first introduced by this Italian, person named as Luca Paccoli, thereby introducing the field in the Italy. Subsequently, these accounting practices evolved to include the double entry bookkeeping. The system enabled businesses to create a balance sheet, right? Because he first time introduced the double entry system, and that led to creation of the balance sheet, which showed what is the financial position of the company or the organization, or the person whoever is preparing this at a given point in time, right? So this is how the balance sheet, get started, prepared. The introduction of the double entry bookkeeping was a significant milestone in the history of accounting and laid the foundation for the modern day accounting practices. So basically, this is the prime event which led to, formalize the accounting or bookkeeping process, right? So prior to that, whatever the people or civilizations were doing, that was not double entry, but double entry bookkeeping system was first introduced by this person in Italy and later on adopted by other countries. Then industrial revolution somewhere happened in 1850s, right, early 90s, and this led to significant changes, right, in the accounting profession, right? So because prior to that there was no manufacturing process as such, no industrial, activity were happening across the globe, significantly. So there was no need to do the accounting for these things. But when industrial revolution started, so companies realized that they need to focus more on accounting, and accounting profession started to grow from there, right? Due to the advent of the machines and the mass production, accounting became more complex, requiring more detailed records of the financial transactions, right? So because machines started getting in for doing the massive production, and it led to complications in maintaining the records, what is being produced, how much is being produced, what is sold, what is left, right? So the accounting started becoming complex, and thereafter, a more focus was required. This period also saw a rise of the accounting profession with the establishment of the first professional accounting organization. And where it was established? It was established in Scotland in 1854, right? So the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Scotland is the world's oldest and the first professional chartered accountants body, being established by Royal Charter in 1854, right? So this was the first chartered accountant institutes established by Scotland in 1854. Subsequently, organizations such as the Institute of Chartered Accountants of England and Wales, Certified Practicing Accountant Australia, American Institute of Certified Public Accountants (CPAs), and the Chartered Accountants of Ireland were established in 19th century. Right. So thereafter, England and Wales, Australia, America, all these countries came up with their respective chartered accountants body constituted. In 20th century, the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants was established, followed by organizations such as Institute of Chartered Accountants of India and the Institute of Singapore Chartered Accountants. So these chartered accountants bodies were set up in India and Singapore in 20th century, right? So, when our ICI was established, the exact date, anybody knows?
1949, July 1st.
Right. So 1st of July 1949, the Chartered Accountant Act was laid and passed, under which the ICI operates today, right? So this is the brief background how the accounting has evolved over the period, right? Then evolution continued. Today, what we are doing in the post-industrial period, technological advancements such as computers arrived somewhere in early 2000, right, which transformed the accounting profession, right? Earlier, what we were doing the manual accounting, right? We were maintaining all the records manually on the paper, right? And we were totaling up all those ledgers, then preparing the trial balance manually, and then from the trial balance we used to prepare the statement of profit and loss, balance sheet, and the cash flow, right? So this was the process until the computers arrived in early 2000, right? So when computers arrived, we got the Microsoft Excel, right? And Excel transformed, the preparation of the financial statements the way, we are preparing today, right? Just imagine if there is no Excel and you are asked to prepare the financial statements, right? How would you prepare? It is very difficult, right? Then some software started, coming in to maintain the accounting records. So those softwares are called ERPs. So enterprise resource planning. So ERPs, over the period evolved, right? So earlier the prime objective was to just prepare the trial balance or do the accounting. Later on, inventory module, fixed assets module, all these modules were added as and when the need arises. And today what we call the ERP is a complete package of maintaining everything. All the process flows of the organizations are well, uh, you know, uh, run by these ERPs, right? Just imagine in the banks. Uh, I'm not sure if you ever got a chance to visit, any banks to see the interest calculations. But I have seen because I have audited one of the Indian listed bank, so I know how the interest is calculated on the savings account, recurring deposits and fixed deposits, and the loans as well, loan book. But just imagine if there is no technology or no ERP available, how a bank would be computing the interest on millions of customers' accounts and millions of the loan accounts. Just imagine, is it feasible to do?
It will be very difficult, sir. Each and every account manually calculate the date and interest, and they have to work it everything, and they accordingly they have to pass the entry.
Right. So I remember, earlier there were, manual passbooks. So whenever you go to the bank, so today, although, passbook system is all also old, but still the passbook is there, right? So today what we do, when we go to the bank and we want to, have a account statement, so we get our passbook completed. And what is the procedure? Passbook, is inserted into a machine and it is printed for all the transactions, right? And we can see all those transactions, right? Whatever are incurred, be it charges by the bank levied on our account, or be it interest credit, or be it debit credits which we have made in our bank account, right? But prior to the computer era, how these were handled, do you know?
Yeah, they will open the ledger book and they will write everything. Based on that, they will ask our passbook. Then they will write manually everything. They will sign it and give it to us.
Yes. So earlier, what was the process? So banks were always there. It's not about that banks have, started coming in after this system has arrived. So banks were always there, and the process was, they were maintaining a physical ledgers, right? In those ledgers, they were writing the customer account. So every branch, suppose a particular State Bank of India branch has, say, 1,000 customers, right? Just I'm taking an example. So for those 1,000 customers, some physical ledgers were being maintained by the name and by the account number, right? And whatever the debits or credits were happening. So whenever you visit the bank to deposit cash or to withdraw cash, or suppose if you are transferring money from your account to another account and you are giving the checks, so all those were recorded in those manual ledgers, right? And whenever you go to the bank, that please complete my passbook, because earlier there was no bank account statement concept, only the passbooks were there, right? So you hand over your passbook to the clerk, and he opens your ledger and just simply copy all those entries which were there in their records and then sign it, right? So it he actually writes all those entries in your passbook and sign it, right? So that was the mechanism prevailing earlier, right? But with the introduction of the computer, it completely transformed, more effective, more efficient, right? Saved, lot of man hours, right? And it made the process easy as well, right? You can get it completed within minutes, right? Instead of, for him to write all the transactions by hand, right? So that's what the, computers or the technology has brought in, and it is continuously evolving at a fast pace, right? So where we are today, we will be, much ahead after 5 years as compared to today, right? And after 5 years we will realize that, we were wasting so much time in doing these things. Now these are being done with a single click or in seconds, right? So this upsurge in the technology in the accounting field on account of cloud computing and AI, all of which are transforming the accounting profession. So what is happening? So what do you think what cloud computing is? Any idea? What do you mean by the cloud computing?
So cloud computing is a accounting software which will be handled using through the internet. Anywhere, anytime we can use that resources. We can account it on time, real time processing will happen.
Correct, correct. So what is happening? The company who has developed the software, they are maintaining the servers with them, right? On those servers, this software is being licensed to the third parties. They can use via internet those softwares, get their job done, and whatever the data they have will be saved automatically on those servers, which is accessible at a click, from the customer system, right? So that is called the cloud. So whatever is being happening is not happening on your hardcore servers which the company is maintaining in their office, but it is happening on the provider servers which is accessible through some internet, which is called cloud, right? So that's called cloud access. And what is AI? Artificial intelligence. Any guesses? So although we are using the chat GPT, but do we really understand what chat GPT is?
No, sir.
No, right? So chat GPT is a AI model, and how on what technology it is based? It is based on LLM, large language model. Do you know LLM? What does LLM means?
No, sir.
Okay, so large language model is nothing but a database of all the billions or trillions of words in the world which are used in any languages. So all they are collected in a single database basis on their trends of use, and whenever you search on anything, it gets extracted from that database. So large language model is nothing but a complete box which contains all the information available in the world. So this is in very plain language, very simple terms, layman language, this is called LLM, right? And whenever you search for anything, right, so it uses that database and then produce the relevant output. So there are two technologies within the AI, artificial intelligence, that is Gen AI and agentic AI. Do you know what Gen AI or what agentic AI means?
No, sir.
So Gen AI is a first step in artificial intelligence where basic work can be done, right? And agentic AI is more specialized AI agents which work for you basis the specific activity or specific commands you are giving to them, right? So just do some Google, learn a bit about how AI operates at the back end so that you get to know AI better, right? And you will be able to use it better. Because if you know better, you will be using it better. So now, as we are moving towards AI and cloud computing, so it will further advance the accounting profession going forwards, right? So how, for example, earlier, if suppose we are looking for some, solution to a particular accounting treatment, so we used to search, right, on Google, and then we click on different sites, for example, the Textman or some other sites, whoever might be having a relevant answer. But this process took almost an hour or two or sometimes a half day to reach to a particular conclusion, right, for what you were looking to, right? But now in the AI world, you can simply write your query, give the specific references which AI should use, and you can get a neatly nicely drafted to pointed answer to your query. Is it so or not?
Yes, sir.
Right? So it is saving your time to search different websites. So what is AI doing for you? So earlier you were doing those searches on those websites, reading their texture and picking up the relevant portion from their texture, right, to support your question or to support your conclusion, right? But now all this activity AI is doing on your behalf and fetching you the summary of all that to you, right? So that is what AI is making faster for you to search, you even to do the search. Now, what another use case, people are generally using AI is, suppose earlier you were watching a video and video was for say 1 hour, right? So you would have to spend 1 hour, or probably if you watch it at a fast pace, still you end up spending 30 to 45 minutes, right, to complete that video. Now if you don't want to spend so much time on that video, what you can do, you can simply upload that video on the chat gpt and ask a summary of this video. So chat gpt will produce a quick summary, what is the key message in this video, which is very useful. So you can read that summary in 5 minutes and you are on top of the things from that video, right? So that is how we are able to save time. Although it will not make you very it will not give you very immersive experience of watching the video yourself, right? But at least if you are having very less time and you want to quickly understand what is being said in this video, right, then you can use the AI for that, right? Any questions?
No, sir. Actually, I used to for it the book. Any book is recently published. I used to that ChatGPT to provide the summary out of key takeaway from that book
Hmm.
quickly. It's very
Right,
useful actually.
right. So suppose if you upload a 100 pager magazine or book or whatever the content you have, and you just want to have a quick summary of those 100 pages. So if the first method was you need to read those 100 pages and highlight certain portion, then prepare a summary yourself, right? And now you can simply upload that, ask for a quick summary from the AI, and AI will fetch you within few seconds or maximum in a minute a quick summary which you can quickly read, and it structures the summary very well, right? It's not about that it simply gives you the summary, so it structures that summary as well so that you can cross reference to the main source which you have uploaded in the AI tool, right? So that's what AI is doing for us. So it is doing a lot for us, but these are the things people are doing it.
Yes,
Right,
sir.
Sanjay. So YouTube also has functionality today to summarize a video. So instead of you watching the video, you can quickly click on the summarize video button, and you will get the summary then and there. Right. Okay. So let's come back to the current state of the technology in the accounting which the companies are using today. Right. So first is the automation. So companies are very focusing on automating their accounting, process so that they can get reliable results within, very short span of time. So automation is the use of the software and the other tools to automate manual processes, making them faster and more accurate. So how this will become faster and more accurate? So is it manual process was not accurate?
Manual.
Faster we can understand. So if something is done by computer, it will certainly be faster as compared to the human being. But how come we say that it is more accurate?
More accurate because the human tend to make some mistakes that cannot be 100% quality may not be assured.
Correct. So just to give you a simple example, so in Excel, suppose there are 5,000 figures written in column, right? And you simply total up. So there is very rarest possibility that the total is mistaken in the Excel, almost negligible, right? But if you do it manually or sum total these 5,000 numbers manually, so different people may come up with different results, right?
Yes, sir.
So automation is, or using the technology or using the computer, in getting your jobs done is more accurate as well as compared to the manual process. Although this Excel is not an example which fits into the automation process, but I just took it for a simplicity purpose to make you understand how it will be more accurate always as compared to the manual efforts. Right now, what is automation? What do you mean by the automation? Any practical example which you can, or you might have experienced or seen in your uh, organization, or because you are students you might have seen it in your articleship during some audits or whatever the vertical you are working in. Anything which you can correlate, yes, this was automated in this organization and we have seen this.
Yes, I have one experience. during my my intervention. There is a robotic RPA is there, robotic process automation, wherein we need to do the account reconciliation. In the
Hmm.
particular company, there is a lot of account will be there. Around 1,000 accounts will be there in the particular business unit. So what they done that robotic process automation, in that template of that reconciliation sheet, it will capture the business unit and account number, account description, and what are the account balances, what is subledger balances. This basic information it will provide and capture and keep it in the record, and also it will pull that ledger as well. Only the thing is that we need to match it and close it.
Correct. Correct. So that's one of the very fine, example for the automation. So in today's world, earlier what we were reconciling, suppose we were reconciling a bank reconciliation statement, right? So we were seeing what we have recorded in our ledger and what is there in the bank statement. We identify the delta, and then we will see whether we have missed something which we need to record, or is there something which bank has levied which we were not aware, for example bank charges, right? And accordingly we prepare the bank reconciliation and take the necessary steps. Or it could be for the customer ledger reconciliations, supplier ledger reconciliations, right? So all that stuff. Now with the automation process, all these reconciliations can be managed by the system itself. It will give you the exception report for you to approve them, and once you are approving them, it will take the effect, right? So it throws the exception report to you on the as a first thing in the morning whenever you hit the exception report button, and you can simply see what all those exceptions are which are there. If we clear this, the balance will be reconciled, right? So this is how it is making very fast for you in terms of reconciliation process, in terms of journal entry process as well. So earlier what we were doing, we were passing the journal entries every month. For example, the depreciation entry every month, right? For example, the other journal entries which are very routine journal entries, and they are not specific to a particular incidence or event which doesn't happen month on month, right? So whatever the those whatever the number of those journal entries which were happening regularly, either by the same amount or by a different amount fetched from some source, right? So earlier there used to be a person sitting in front of computer and doing those journal entries debit credit manually by selecting the ledgers, right? So this ledger needs to be debited, this ledger needs to be credited by this amount, and upload the supporting document and submit it into the ERP, and then that entry goes to the approver. He reviews and he then approves, and then it gets posted. Earlier, this was the process. But with the automation process, organizations have reached to a stage where all these routine entries are automatically prepared by the system itself, instead of us being preparing them in the system. Now what happens, a command has been given to the system that these are the 50 entries or 100 entries which we need to post every month. Out of these 100 entries, 10 entries are having the same amount, because this is a simple amortization amount which will remain same month on month, or this is a depreciation amount which will remain same month on month, right? Unless and until there are any additions or deletions which will be intimated to the system as and when these transactions are incurred. But until then, system can continue to repeat the same process over these entries, process them on your behalf. You don't need to do anything month on month basis, right? So automation is helping us to take away the repetitive jobs from us, so that we are left with more time to think on the strategic initiatives for the organization, right? So instead of doing the manual or monotonous things on a daily basis, we are left with more time to do the strategic things on the business. So that is how automation is making the things faster, accurate, and it is resulting into save a lot of time for the management, right? So these are one or two examples of the automation process. There are many others which the organizations are doing today, but automation simply means this only, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's understand one example which is there in your study material on the automation process. So suppose you are entering into a mall or mart to buy certain, items, groceries or whatever, items from that mall or mart. Then how and what steps, are happening into the system for making those sales happen, right? So activities involved in the process of procuring groceries from a departmental store such as Walmart or the Reliance Smart Bazaar at the front end. So the entire process happens in seconds, saving the valuable time and mitigating all the errors. So step one, first of all, you enter the mall, you pick up some selected groceries which you want to purchase, and then you take your cart to the billing counter, right? So this is the step one, right? Step two, the person at the counter, billing counter, simply scans all those products or items barcode, right? And as soon as he scans, automatically system reads what item you are purchasing, what is the MRP, what is the scheme or the discount offered, what is the GST, and accordingly inputs them into the system merely by scanning without anything punching into the system, right? And the corresponding selling price. So whatever all those attributes needs to be captured will be captured merely by scanning those products, and bills are generated within a minute. Did you notice this whenever you have visited any of the mart for purchasing anything,
Yes, sir.
right? And when the bill is generated, you simply make the payment either by cash or UPI or the card, and it gets settled within seconds, and system records, the sales. So sales entries also, made within the departmental store ERP, and inventory which you have purchased, the items which you have purchased will automatically be hitting to the inventory account as well, so that their inventory also gets updated in the backend, so that if the new customer walks in and he asks whether do you have this particular item or not, so the person can simply check into the system whether they actually have or not, and they can tell you upfront instead of you searching for it in the mall, right? So this is real quick. Suppose if this automation process was not implemented and it was all manual, then what would have happened in this case? You would be asking, say, 50 items. He would be making the list of those 50 items, then checking each item's MRP, putting MRP, then totaling, and then whatever the discount they want to offer, deducting the discount and asking you to pay for, right? And suppose hundreds of customers are walking in and making a purchase, and if he is doing all the things manually, at the day end he needs to reconcile what is sold, how much is collected, if everything is reconciled or not, right? By doing the cash count and looking at the bank statements. And then the inventory records also he needs to update manually. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right? So this automation is actually saving a lot of time on our part, and now the person is more focused on doing business rather than maintaining or updating the records or preparing the reconciliations between the inventory or the sales or the cash or the bank, right? So they are not worried about these reconciliations or the accounting. Now they have more time to focus on their business. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right? So in the backend, what are the activities taking place? So as and when the barcode of an item is scanned at the billing counter, the inventory of the said item at the departmental store is simultaneously updated, recording the issue or the sale of the same. This ensures accuracy in maintenance of the inventory data at the departmental store, which can be further verified by the physical count. So if you wanted to do the physical count, you can do the physical count and see that inventory records are up to date, right? In certain cases, the software is also programmed to so that it can factor into the GST or indirect taxes levied on the sale value as per the invoice. So they are factored, very well factored. So whatever the GST rate is on different items, that is automatically fed into the system, and system simply reads the GST rate from that table as soon as the item is scanned or item's barcode is scanned, right? So GST also gets populated for the respective items. Suppose if you are purchasing few items which are rated at 5% and some items which are rated at 18%, so you will be able to see that 5%, 18%, different GST rates are there on your bill, right? So this accuracy and this speed is only helping us to do the things faster. So this is the main advantage of this automation process, right? Now on the payment side as well. So suppose if you are purchasing anything uh, on the Flipkart or on the Amazon or on any of the websites, right? So as soon as you make the payment by your debit credit cards or the UPI, it's simply, reflected in the company's account very same time, right? And uh, the sale is also recorded at the company's end, and in your bank statement payment is recorded and your bank balance is deducted, right? So this is happening on a real time basis, right? So that is the advantage of using the technology or the automation process in everything, right? So earlier what used to happen, so when there were no online payment mechanism available, you were paying in cash, right? They need to reconcile the cash at the end of the day. Or if you are paying the check, they need to wait for realization of check to reflect in their bank statements and then reconcile, right? But this automation is, just speeding up the entire process more accurately and more efficiently. Now, there are a lot of benefits. We have already discussed that and number of benefits are there in the automation process, but there are certain challenges as well. Any challenges do you think you are able to think through?
So the first challenge is that the password threat, somebody has stolen the password, then that will be a problem. We are totally depending on the internet. If there is a internet is not available, then that will be a problem, sir. Then we need a proper training for each and every employee to the new system. Then and there, otherwise it will tamper the data. Only I feel the three things.
First of all, because the technology is also changing every day, right? So we need to be updated, number one. Suppose if we are hiring, suppose you are a departmental chain owner, and if you are hiring a particular employee who has not worked with the departmental chain earlier, then it's on you to train him or her to use this technology, right? Because if they do not know, then how they can use it? So first of all is the training and education is required to use this technology, number one. And if the technology is changing, to keep up with the latest technology, because if the technology is changing and we are not adopting, then we will be outdated, we will be out of the business, right?
Yes, sir.
Risk of the data breaches and the cyber attacks, so that is always there because we are using the technology. So any technology we use, even we are using the Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, whatever the apps we are using, or Ola, Uber, whatever apps, all these apps or everything whatever we do in terms of surfing on our mobile or on the laptops, be it online shopping or purchasing a movie ticket or whatever, so there is always a risk that we can get trapped into some cyber attacks, right? So either the cyber attacks on the part of the company's website, or it is simply on our system, right? Because our systems were not properly secured by some adequate firewalls, right? So there is a always risk uh, using these technologies or systems, because it is dependent on internet of things, right? Which can compromise the security and the confidentiality of the financial data. So if the cyber attack is there, then your data will be compromised. Correct?
Yes, sir. Correct.
Due to automation, there exists a potential loss of jobs. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, because earlier what was happening, the company was having a battalion of people to do the journal entry, right? Because the company used to have 5,000 entries every month or 10,000 entries every month, and they used to have 10 people to make those entries done into the system, right? But now with the automation, because all the repetitive entries are being taken care by the system itself, so company will not be needing, these 10 people. It might be okay to retain two and, ask the eight to go, right? So jobs certainly will be at the potential risk, right? So if you are working in a company and company is in on automation spree, then you need to be prepared, to look after for different jobs, because someday or other day, it will happen that company automates the process which we are doing for the company, and we will be redundant for the company, right? So we need to educate ourselves, upskill ourselves, so that we can leverage the latest technology or the AI or whatever, the new technology or softwares or ERPs are coming in, so that we learn them before they are getting implemented or adopted by the companies, so that we continue to stay relevant in the market, right? So it's always on us how relevant and how upskilled we are on a continuous basis, right? Otherwise we will be outdated.
Sir, I have one question on this. Sir, the currently with the due to the recent automation and the AI and the recent development, will there be any impact for CA as a profession in the future?
That's what I'm
How
saying now.
how,
So it's
how
not
to
about CS.
then
It's not about.
how to overcome that as well?
Yeah. So it's not about CAs. So, anyways, our institute is doing a lot in terms of, making or creating the awareness around the latest technologies or the AI use for its members. And, institute has doing some significant steps, to stay uh, or to make the profession relevant, or use case for the recent technology as well. But what it simply means that we need to be staying relevant, right? So if we do not learn what new technologies or new ERPs are coming in, which companies are adopting, then probably we will be out of that job market, right? So if companies are migrating to use AI, then we should learn how the AI is being used in our profession, right? And what is the involvement of human would be required to use that AI for the company, right? So at least we should continue to learn these things so that we stay relevant. So earlier we were doing the journal entry accounting, we were preparing the financial statements in Excel, but now that is being taken care by the technology. Then we should learn how the technology needs to be used so that the desired output is produced, right? So we should be learning doing that using the technology.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so in the automation, there is a robotic process automation as well, a new term which has recently helped a lot of organizations to automate their lot of processes and bringing more efficiencies in their entire end-to-end process. What do you mean by the RPA?
Yeah, and there will be some program will be there. When you fit that, it will automatically pull the information, record information, and fit into the disabled format. It can be for anything. For example, if it is an email, if it is a customer, then the list it will put the pick the email ID from there, and it will update, and subject line it will update what is outstanding, and the email content, everything it will keep it ready. Only thing is that before sending it, we have to vouch it and send it like that.
So RPA is doing what? RPA is simply mimicking the human. right, for the repetitive task in the data financial process analysis or reporting. So they are simply bots, and these bots are handling a specific task or a specific activity which otherwise would have been handled by us manually, right? So, like one example I took earlier, say processing the journal entries. So, preparing the journal entries and getting them approved and posting into the system so that trial balance gets updated, right? Now, how RPA is doing this? So RPA simply oversees which journal entries are there into the system, which are prepared on a monthly basis or on a frequent weekly basis or daily basis, which are very repetitive in nature, right? So RPA analyzes those journal entries and make a list that these are the repetitive journal entries which can be prepared by the system itself using the bots. So instead of you preparing them, these bots can prepare them on your behalf, and they can put it on the dashboard for you to review and approve, right? Review and approve, right? So this is how RPA is simply mimicking the human interactions with the digital system, right? So they are simply acting on your behalf, right? So instead of you doing the things into the system, they do the things into the system and make them ready for your use and approve. So they can, what else they can do? They can extract the data, consolidate the data, perform the calculations, generate the reports, and ensure the compliance with the accounting standards. Right. So if the accounting standard, instructions are given or selected into the system, then system can simply reference them and accordingly ensure the compliance as well with those accounting standards. Right. Whatever they are doing. Right. The adoption of these robotic process automation in the financial reporting improves accuracy, enhance efficiency, and frees up the valuable time for the finance professionals to focus on more strategic activities rather doing the repetitive monotonous jobs on a daily basis, right? So system is basically asking you that because you are the human being, you utilize your time on the strategic things for the company, take good strategic decisions, business decisions for the company, and whatever the monotonous job which you anyway don't like, let us do it for you, right? So you are free. We will be doing the job even when you are sleeping. And whenever you get up in the morning, you can see the things are ready at your disposal, right? So this is the advantage of RPA. So they create bots into the system, and those bots can work on behalf of you for those repetitive jobs. What is the benefit the company is achieving? Significant benefit is the cost saving, increased data integrity, and timely and insightful financial information. Right? Everything is getting done in time. So you can, it is possible that you want a week or month leaves, right? And if you are on leave, then company may be waiting for you to return and pick up the work. But bots never goes on the leaves, right? So human, can delay the things. You can have some planned, unplanned leaves. You are not keeping well. You cannot work today. But there were certain entries which were to be prepared into the system today itself, or there were some reconciliations which were to be, done today itself. But because you are not keeping well, you cannot do today, right? So organization has to wait for you to come back. But bots are always there, so there wouldn't be any delays. So that's the benefit of RPS. Any questions?
No, sir. Clear, sir.
Yeah. Okay. What is cloud computing? So, although we briefly touched when we started, so what exactly the cloud computing is? Cloud computing refers to the delivery of the computing services over the internet, right? So that's what we have discussed. So instead of doing any computing service on your own system, you can do it on somebody's else system by accessing to that system via internet, because you are licensed, right? So whenever we, do anything, online, be it online shopping or whatever, any other activity which we are doing online, it means we are not doing it on our system, but we are doing it on, other company's website, and that website is hosted by that company's servers, right? And sometimes, these businesses also does not maintain the servers with themselves. They ask some other software giants or software companies to provide that server online, right? So let me take an example here. Suppose I am working in an organization as an account professional, right? And I am putting all the accounting work in the system or the desktop which has been given or provided by the company to me, right? Or if I'm, not working on that system or via my laptop, then as well, my laptop is well connected with the servers of that company, right? So XYZ is a company, for example. Suppose I'm working for XYZ, right? And I am doing the accounting for XYZ using the company provided desktop or the laptop. And this XYZ has the office, say, in Gurgaon, right? And within this Gurgaon office, they have the server room where all the servers, are owned by the company, right? And whatever I do or post any accounting or journal entry, whatever I do or in my laptop or desktop, that gets replicated or saved or stored on that server, right? So this is the one aspect. Now suppose XYZ doesn't want to maintain this servers on their own, and XYZ you know contracts with some other tech company, right, who is into the business of providing the servers, right? And that company maintains the server, and within that server, they are giving the access to various companies to do their, accounting or whatever other work they want to perform, right? And this XYZ pays a, say, monthly rent of rupees, say, 5 lakh, for example. Just a minute. 5 lakh rupees, right? And they can give away to purchase the servers themselves or maintain them, or hire IT professionals to maintain those servers, right? So they are cutting on the cost of investment into the servers themselves. Number two, they don't need the maintenance. Number three, they don't need the IT team as well to maintain those servers. So all these costs are cutting down. Space is also saved. They can use this office space for some other business activities, and simply can rent from other tech company this server, right? Now on this server, whatever information is being processed by me, so that is going on to this server via internet, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right? Now on this server, if some report needs to be fetched by some other user, so suppose I am Mr. A and some Mr. B wants to fetch some information, so he will also place a request, and this server will fulfill that request,
Yes, sir.
right? Some inventory person, some production guy, some other departmental person, everybody will be interacting with this server in that case via internet,
Yes, sir. Based on the access.
based on the access given to them, right? And if suppose every department is performing some calculations, some uploading files, downloading files, so everything is happening via internet, right? Using the access credentials on that server, and everything will get saved on that server itself, and whoever has the access can extract all those information, right? So this is the process called cloud computing. So where we do not have our own servers in our physical location, but we are getting the work done for our company via utilizing somebody else's servers, right? So this is one of the example of cloud computing, right? So in COVID, what happened? Cloud computing emerged as a good alternative compared to the traditional client server architecture in physical locations controlled by the companies themselves. Now, with the advent of cloud computing, persons could access the system from their respective locations, work remotely during the lockdown, and ensure that the accounting process and the reporting requirements did not suffer adversely, right? So what is the advantage of cloud computing for the company? Number one, they don't need to block their funds in purchasing, these expensive server systems. Number two, they don't need to get them installed in their office space, which otherwise could have been used for other purposes, right? And number three, they don't need to hire the IT professional as well to maintain them. So no maintenance cost, no purchase cost, no installation required, no office space is consumed, right? And no responsibility. Suppose one fine day this server, gets cyber attacked or something else has happened, that this company who is not a tech company, maybe unnecessarily, dragged into managing those things which they are not used to because they are not in the tech. But if they are, taking a license of the server from a tech company, then those tech company are very professional people. They know that how to safeguard the servers from the cyber attacks, right? So that is also beneficial for these other companies who are not tech companies. Getting my point?
Yes, sir. But that the whatever the data used to be the client, it will be stored in that technology company. But there is
Yes.
a breach of confidentiality matter. They are very much aware what are the data stored at their place. Is there any breach of data leakage?
Right. So to safeguard that, there are also some softwares, right, which create the logs, whoever is accessing, to the data, right? So suppose if there is any person who is not the authorized person found accessing those server or data, flag will be reported, right? That this person is trying to access their data. So have you ever experienced that whenever you try to log in your Gmail or Yahoo Mail and from a different device, right? And certainly you flagged a notification on your email box that somebody is trying to log in into your Gmail from a different device. And is it you or is it somebody else? Have you ever
Yes, sir.
noticed this?
Yes, sir.
Right? So how that is happening? Do you know how that is happening?
No, sir.
No, I tell you. So, whenever you log in your Gmail from your phone and attach your phone to that Gmail, right? So your device IMEI number gets updated in your Gmail account, and Gmail knows that you are the person handling this device. Right now, suddenly, if you log in your Gmail from some other device, then it pops up to the Google that for this person a new device is being enrolled to log in into this Gmail, right? So a notification appears on your mobile phone that via this laptop or via this mobile, sometimes they tell the device name as well, right? What is the name of the device? Is it you, right? So this is software driven only, and unless and until you confirm yes or no, the device will not be logged in into the Gmail. Is that so or not?
Yes, sir.
Right? So these are the preventive, techniques which are, there to help or, detect if any person is, trying to getting login into your database, right? So similarly, similar controls are being implemented by these tech companies who are into the business of providing the servers or maintaining the servers on behalf of other companies, right? So if and whatever the devices the other company has are already registered with the user ID and the password and the device names. If some new device via some new device, somebody tries to log in, so it will be flagged beforehand, right? And of course, because we are using the technology, this is prone to the risk, right? So there are hackers who can hack anything and everything in the market. So if something is hacked, then certainly there would be a backup plans, right? That is called disaster management system, right?
Sir, suppose if the tech company itself is taking the data and selling to someone else, in that situation.
Right. So I don't know if this is happening or not happening, and if this is happening, then how companies are ensuring that their data or financial information is not compromised. But at the end of the day, there has to be some trust, right? So if the tank company itself is uh, taking out the confidential information and selling it to in the market, then certainly that is a very big risk.
So why I'm asking this? Say example, for a client, if they are maintaining the software themselves, they will update each and every data in the client itself. Say example, if the income tax ride is coming, they will take all the data from the entity itself. They will go. In this case of the cloud computing, the data which we are not managing internally, which is stored in the some other third party, is there any chance to the income tax authority directly go and collect from the cloud computing tech itself?
So no, so ideally it is not that way. So income tax department. So I don't know exactly. There are the talks going on that with the new income tax bill, which is passed by the both houses, and already became a new income tax law, which will be implemented from 1st of April 2026. Right. So that has some special rights, given to the income tax department to, access your personal information, right? Even the WhatsApp, Gmails, and some whatever the data you are maintaining onto any of the systems, or even if it is on cloud, then they can access to that. But I'm not sure to what extent, what are the nitty-gritties of that, in what situation or scenario they will be able to access those, and how, what would be the modus operandi, whether they would be needing any approval from you first, or they would be needing any approval from their higher authorities to simply get your data without your knowledge. So that I do not know at this point. But certainly, because we are so much getting into the technology, and we are losing the control of our data, because we are trusting some third party to maintain that confidentiality. So there are risks anyway invited, right? And if suppose there are any laws as well around it, to give access to the government authorities or government regulatory bodies to this data, even without your approval, then that certainly will add more complexity and risk going forward. But that clarity is not there as on today. Who can access, whether the income tax department can access this data or not, without your knowledge, that I don't think so it is happening.
Okay, sir.
Okay, what are the common applications of cloud computing? So cloud storage is one. So where we are storing our data on the cloud, and without having the hard disk ourselves. For example, we use the Dropbox, we use the Google Drive, we use the Microsoft OneDrive, right? So this is we are also using in our individual capacity. You are using it right on your phones. Google Drive, where you can save your images, files, PDFs, PPTs, whatever, right? And you can access as and when you want to see them. Correct. So this is one of the application of the cloud computing. So cloud storage. Then software as a service, SaaS platforms provide cloud-based software applications. So whatever the applications you are using, for example, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, what all this is nothing but cloud based apps. So whatever the messages you have in your WhatsApp, whatever the photos you have uploaded on your Facebook, or whatever the photos or videos you reels you have uploaded on your Instagram, even if you delete them from your own system or mobile phones, they will stay there on your Facebook, Instagram, yes or no?
Yes, sir. It will be stay there.
So it will stay there. So you are saving your data on somebody's else hard disk, correct?
Yes, sir.
Right? And you are using them as and when you want to use, right, through these apps. So these apps which interacts between the database of that company and your mobile phone whenever you want to use, that is happening because of this application, right? So these applications actually make them make their server and your phone connected, right? So if I take an example of the accounting, then customer relationship management CRM softwares like Salesforce. If I'm not sure if you have ever heard the name Salesforce earlier or not. So it maintains the database of all the customers you have on somebody's else hardware, right? And you can simply log in into the Salesforce system, right, via a given user ID and the password, and you can see that data. But the data is not on your system, right? So this is called the software as a service. So in this case, what the Salesforce company is doing, they have developed a software called as Salesforce. They have given access to you. You can create the customer relationship data on that, save it there, and access it whenever you want it. And the data will all be saved on their system. But they are not giving you the system, or they are not charging you the rental for the system or the database. They are simply charging a license fees to use their software, Salesforce. So that is called software as a service, SaaS. Infrastructure as a service provides offer virtualized computing resources, including servers, storage, networking infrastructure, or a pay-as-you-go basis. For example, AWS, Amazon Web Service, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud Platform. So all these apps are simply, giving you the access to the infrastructure, right, to save whatever the data you have instead of you purchasing the hard disks or the servers yourselves. Platform as a service, cloud based platforms, for example, Microsoft Azure app and Google app engine, right? So these are the platforms which you can use for any apps download. So Google Play Store, what is that? This is a platform. So whichever app you want to download on your phone, you cannot download it without the Google Play Store, right? But now there are alternatives emerging. But Google Play Store is one of the platform which allows you to search for the relevant apps, show up you ratings, number of subscribers, the feedbacks, and everything. And then you can decide upon whether you want to download that or not, right? So this is one of the example of the platform as a service. Cloud-based communications and the collaboration. Microsoft Teams, Google Workspace, Zoom. So the call which we are having now is driven on which platform? Zoom platform, right? So via Zoom platform, you are able to hear me, you are able to see the slides, and you are able to see the video where I'm live interacting with all of you, right? So this is also facilitated by cloud-based computing. So this is also one of the cloud computing example where whatever I'm speaking is getting transmitted into the data parcels, and it is again getting converted into the voice by the modem at your system, so that you are exactly hearing whatever I am speaking, but it is not passing through in the speech. This is passing through in the data parcels, that is the 0 or 1 binary, right? So this activity is being carried out by the system at the back end, right? And it is happening on a very real time basis, so that you are listening whatever I'm speaking on a real time basis without any lag, correct?
Yes, sir.
cloud-based e-commerce, Flipkart, Amazon, all these apps you are using and you are making the purchase, you are selecting the products, making the purchase, adding into the cart and paying for it. So all these are facilitated by what? Cloud-based computing. So everything is happening through cloud. Neither you have anything on your computer or mobile phones, and nor you are maintaining any servers or any softwares on your own. So what you are simply doing, you are simply visiting the website of the Flipkart or the Amazon or maybe the application in your mobile, and then simply you are selecting the product, making the payment, and everything is happening with a single click. In the backend, everything is happening through cloud computing, right? Big data analytics. So Google BigQuery, Microsoft Azure Lake Data Analytics. So all these apps are simply, helping us to do some analytics, right? So everything, whatever we do through Internet of Things or Internet is, cloud computing. Have you ever heard the word Internet of Things, IoT?
Yes, sir.
What is
With
that?
the,
What is that? Internet of Things?
could not recall immediately, but I studied in auditing.
Hmm. So basically, Internet of Things is whatever the activities or the things which we were doing otherwise can be done via internet. So when internet is facilitating to make them happen effectively, efficiently, and fastly, so this is clubbed under the Internet of Things. Okay, what are the benefits of the cloud computing?
Definitely, there is a time saving and access the data at any time and
So
data accuracy.
number one, the improved accessibility. How? Whether you are in office or you are at your home or you are on vacations in the Goa, if you have the laptop and the credentials, the user ID and the password, you can access the company's data. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Anywhere, anytime.
Anywhere, anytime. Even if you are on island, provided internet signals are there, right?
Yes, sir.
Improved accessibility. And this is the key uh, attribute of the cloud computing, which helped in COVID times, pandemic times a lot, right? Because people were, quarantined at home, they cannot move, and in that case, if the companies, were not giving the access to them, then they wouldn't be able to work for the company, and the company work would have suffered significantly, right? Because the companies have given the laptops to these employees with the access, and they could work from their homes, so companies accounting work was not affected, correct? So cloud computing facilitates the accessibility, anything from anywhere, right? Enhanced security. So cloud-based accounting software provides typically advanced security features, for example encryption. Do you know what encryption means?
Encryption means the person to intend to send, only that person only can able to open that particular item.
So I am not sure if you have ever, because there were a lot of advertisements running on the TV from the WhatsApp that we don't know what you are sending to your friends and relatives, right? It is all encrypted. Have you ever seen that advertisement from the WhatsApp?
No, sir, I didn't see. But with respect to
You did.
encryption, there is a
It means so this
public key and private key will be there. Only the person to have that private key, that person only can able to open the encrypted messages.
correct, correct, correct. So suppose if I am sending a message to you, right, then only you will be able to see that message, and even WhatsApp doesn't know what I have sent and what you have received, right? So WhatsApp claims that the messages are so encrypted that even their system doesn't know who is sending what messages to whom, right? So that was their message to the community, because the community was, losing the trust on the WhatsApp, that their messages were compromised on security. So they started, relaying these ads on the TVs for quite some time. I don't know if you did not get a chance to see that. So you can certainly watch that video on YouTube in case you want. That is a 1 minute clip, so that you can see how encryption they are defining. So that video will tell you what encryption exactly means, because they are simply focusing that advertisement on encryption feature itself, right? And the firewalls. What is the firewall? Any idea?
A firewall tell what is the safety, what is not safety, like that. It will protect the data.
So one of the example of the firewall software is the McAfee, right? Quick Heal, McAfee. So all
Yes,
these,
sir.
softwares are available. There are many more. So, these softwares, if you purchase them and you implement them on your phone or your laptop devices, then if somebody who is trying to access your mobile phone or your laptop by any means, then he will be restricted, right? So your mobile, your system will not be compromised or hacked. So that is called the firewalls, right? So firewall softwares basically ensures a safety net for your systems. So it is simply like walls. Suppose if you are in a room and there are four walls and you close the door, nobody can enter into the room, right? So similarly, firewalls are creating a kind of walls on your system which nobody can break and come inside and see what is there in your system, right? So that is called the firewalls. Multi-factor authentication. What is that?
It's password protection.
Right. So sometimes it happens that whenever you log in into your Gmail, right, from your system, so even after entering the password, they send that we have sent an OTP on your mobile. Please enter the OTP, right? Sometimes. So that is called multi-factor authentication. Even if you have entered the password, you are not authorized to get into and see the data, but you are being asked on a top-up authentication. Top-up authentication could be a OTP, could be a notification on your system which you need to approve. Yes, I have logged in, please grant the access, right? So something like that. So these are called multi-factor authentication. Sometimes they are through OTP, sometimes they are through notification, sometimes they are through different apps. So there are apps also available in the market. For example, Authenticator, Google Authenticator. So there is an app, Google Authenticator, on the Google Play Store, which you can install and link it so that you get a multi-factor authentication before you log in into anything to which you relate it, right?
Yes, sir. We have the credit card payment. Even though we put the password, everything, it will through the additional security also. The
Correct,
OTP will
correct.
send.
OTP, correct. So this is called multi-level authentication. Then increased scalability. Now, what do you mean by the scalability? Because software allows you to do, anything from anywhere and for any n number of people, right? So it improves the scalability. So businesses can quickly scale up, right, using the cloud computing, because if they need more people to do different things for them, so they can simply purchase more credentials or more ID passwords from the tech company for their database, right? And they can provide those accesses to more employees. So earlier it was 50 people, now it is 500 people. So they can scale up quickly, right? So they don't need to invest in the infrastructure themselves, because tech companies simply increase the rent per user or per month or per request, whatever the model they are carrying. Reduced cost, of course, company don't need to invest heavily into the servers themselves. They don't need to use the office space for creating that server room. And for server room there is AC is also our mandatory thing which needs to be run on 24 hours. So AC cost will be saved and the IT team cost will be saved. Streamlined collaboration and improved reporting and analytics. So collaboration certainly improved because you can interact with the inventory person, you can interact with the production guy, you can interact with the marketing person, you because everybody is onto the same server, right? Same information is available to everybody, so it increases the collaboration. And analytics, management can have a dashboard where they can see what is the sales made today, how much production is completed today, right? So all these insights are readily available to the management if they are using the cloud computing. What are the challenges? Again, the cybersecurity, prone to hackers, because if you are doing anything online, right? So somebody who wants to hack your process or the data you have stored there, they can certainly try to hack and steal your data. They can also, hack your ID passwords, right? And they can use themselves instead of you. So they can pretend that you are using, system doesn't know because you have entered the correct ID and the password, right? So they will get the access, right? And it can cause losing the confidential data of the company and disruptions to the business. They can hack the data flow as well, make the system jammed, right? Nobody is able to access the data, right, anymore. Possible, not possible,
Yes, sir, possible.
right? So this is one of the risk in the cloud computing. High dependency on strong internet. If you are in the area where internet connection is not strong or not good and fluctuates, then what will happen? You will not be able to work smoothly, right? So it is highly dependent on internet, good internet connection. Suppose if you are doing a job in a MNC, but you are not staying in a metro city and non-metro city is struggling with the internet quality, then you will not be able to perform the work, correct? So
Yes,
that
sir.
is again one of the drawback of the cloud computing, that if internet is not working well, then we will not be able to use it.
Sir,
So let's have a break.
I think there is one website called fast.com. If you put fast.com, it will show what is the internet speed currently which we have.
Correct, correct, correct. Okay, so let's have a break of 10 minutes. 10 minutes would be sufficient, right?
Yes, sir. Enough, sir.
Yeah. So let's be back by 8:45 sharp. 13 minutes break I'm giving. Okay. 8:45 sharp. Okay, thank you, Sanjay, for the confirmation. Okay, so we have learned until now what the cloud computing was, what are the benefits of the cloud computing, and what were the challenges. Now, the next uh, discussion point would be around ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning. So, what ERP is? So, ERP is a software, right? So that we all know. We have been using, Tally, lately. There are many more, ERPs available in the market. Like QuickBooks is one of the example. SAP is certainly, everybody knows. Oracle is there, right? And CBS, core banking system, is also one of the ERP which banks generally use for their, accounting and day-to-day activities. So ERP is basically a software that organizations use for managing day-to-day business activities. For example, procurement, project management, accounting, risk management, compliance, and supply chain operations, right? So, whatever the day to day activities are there for a company to manage or run their business successfully, be it the front end or be it the back end, everything is, done by or facilitated by ERP, right? So ERPs, suiting the business needs, different ERPs are there which suits to a particular industry, and those industries are basically, using those ERPs for managing their business operations efficiently and effectively, right? ERP systems connects and correlates a multitude of the business processes that enable the flow of data between them. It collects organizations' shared transactional data from multiple sources and eliminates the data duplication and provides data integrity with a single source of authentication. So what actually happens? Suppose marketing team has, procured a order for the company. So they put that order into the system ERP. Then the person who is responsible to make the delivery, will accept that order and process it further for the delivery from the warehouse for those goods and services, whatever they are, to the customer. Then once they are delivered, then somebody confirms yes they are delivered, then the invoice will be raised by the invoicing team within the ERP. And invoice, once the invoice is raised, collection team, will record the collection, right, whenever the collections are made. So all these information for a single transactions are, managed by different modules or different people using those ERP systems, and streamlined, process, gets executed for this transaction. And every user, if they want to use what is the they want to check what is the status of a particular transaction or particular, item in the ERP, they can use it because all the data is well uh, transacted and collaborated within all the modules, right? So inventory records gets updated when the dispatch happens. Invoice, once raised, the party account is automatically, debited and created as a debtor in the accounting module. When the collection happens, cash account is debited and the party account is credited within the ERP, right? So this is how ERP is facilitating or smoothing the activities of the business. So ERP systems are designated around a single defined data structure schema that typically has a common database, right? So the database is common, and within that common database, whichever user is entering further information, that gets updated, right? So this helps to ensure that the information used across the enterprise is normalized and based on the common definitions and the user experience. The core constructs are then interconnected with the business processes driven by the workflows across business documents. For example, finance module, human resource module, engineering module, marketing module, operations module, connecting systems and people, whoever using those modules, right? So different departments using their different modules can have access to the same information via their access managements within the ERP to have the same level of information to everybody available, right? So this is being facilitated by ERP. Just think through, if the ERPs are not there, what otherwise could have been the process for making these transactions happen, right? So either the persons were making a call to each other, marketing person was making a call that I have received an order from customer X, and these are the details, and then that person would be recording those details in a manual register, processing that the dispatch. Once the dispatch is made, they would have been informing to the person who would be raising the invoice, and then invoice person would be informing to the accountant that make the entry, I am raising the invoice for this customer, and then accountant would be seeking a collection confirmation from the collection team that whether the collection has happened or not. Once the collection happens, please let us know, I need to make a entry for the collection, right? Otherwise this could have been the manual process entirely, but ERP is facilitating it, and they are capturing all the data on a real time basis, so every user is automatically updated about what the transaction status is at a given point in time, right? Clear?
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Since data is the lifeblood of the every modern company, ERP makes it easier to collect, organize, or analyze and distribute this information to every individual in the system that needs it to best fulfill their roles and responsibilities. So ERP is basically a common database where all these modules or all these departments are interacting with each other, you know, smoothly, right? So if suppose I am from the collection team and I want to report that this customer is not paying, right? So I will simply update it in the ERP that collection is overdue, or provision for bad debts, doubtful debts will be recorded by the accountant automatically as soon as I report that collection is overdue, right? So this is how this data is basically flowing across the modules on a real time basis, right? ERP also ensures that these data fields and attributes roll up to the correct account in company's general ledgers so that all costs are properly tracked and represented. A key ERP principle is the central collection of the data for the wide distribution with a secure and centralized data repository. Everyone in the organization can be confident that the data is correct, up to date, and complete, right? Because the database is common, right? So there are no two databases or multiple databases which inner users have. So common database, and the access to each department to the common pool of information is there. So every department is confident that whatever they are looking at is actually accurate, and there are no further updates which are there which they are not visible at their end. So that is not there is no time lag actually between the information given on these modules and the data being updated, right? So data is updated on a real time basis. Data integrity is assured for every task performed throughout the organization, from a quarterly financial statements to the single outstanding receivables report, right? So if you are extracting the receivables report pending debtors for collection, then this report will be updated as and when you extract, right? It's not about that you are extracting the report and there might be many more invoices which are already being updated by the invoicing team into the ERP and they are not reflected in your report. So by the time you generate the report, whatever was there in the system will get reflected in your report. So that's the advantage of using the ERP, right? Nowadays ERPs are used by many organizations as it is critical for managing thousands of the business of the varied sizes covering all the industries. Cloud based ERP applications are embedded with the next generation technologies such as AI and the machine learning, right? So earlier, suppose you were using the AI ERP, for example, SAP or any other ERP, whatever was there in your organization. Now that ERP is also, so earlier this ERP was on your system only, right? The servers which were in house in the organization, like I previously mentioned, via the cloud computing, outsourcing of the servers can be done. Now, if the servers are outsourced, your ERP is also sitting on which server? The tech company servers, right? And you are simply accessing to your ERP via authorized credentials, right? Now, the next generation of technologies, for example, artificial intelligence and machine learning, are also coming and paving their way to, help you to use the ERPs in a better way. So how AI will be integrated along with the ERP? So AI will be seeing what all activities you are doing using the ERP, and they can facilitate those to do on your behalf by using those bots, which we spoke about earlier, right? So what are the benefits of the ERP? Real-time information. The very first benefit of the ERP is the real-time information. So as and when you are looking how much sales, suppose the CFO of the company wants to know what is the sales the company has achieved, until yesterday. So they can simply log in into the ERP and see what are the sales number, right? Suppose CFO wants to know what is the sales which are there happened since morning till 12 noon, right? Then they can simply see the ERP and see what are the sales recorded in 2 hours. That is morning 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Right? So they can see that as well. So ERPs are producing the insights into the financial data on a very real time basis, right? As and when you want to see, you will be able to see the live picture. Less operational cost, because the processes, business processes are very much streamlined. So otherwise it would have been taking quite some time on the part of the people who would be running the show manually if the ERP was not in place. So now, because of the ERP, the processes are very much streamlined. So unwanted cost or unwanted number of people who would otherwise be required to maintain or handle these processes are reduced, right? Enhanced collaboration of users sharing the data in contracts, requisitions, and the purchase orders. Better efficiency through common user experience, because everybody, accessing to the same ERP, the user interface of the ERP is more or less same for every user, unless and until different departments have kind of different user interface, right? Slightly different. Consistent infrastructure from back office to front office, increased user adoption rates from a common user experience and the design, risk a reduction in risk through improved data integrity and the financial controls, and less management and operational costs. So these are the advantages which are there for the organizations who are using ERP over the manual processes. Now, almost I cannot imagine any organization not using the ERP or handling the process manually. So every organization or every company in this world is using some sort of ERP. You know, nobody is handling these things manually anymore, right?
Sir, except the small petty shops.
Small petty shops, certainly, even those, small shops are also using, some sort of apps which are freely available in the market, right? Which, help very small, say grocery shop or some other, business shops to just have their accounting records readily available.
But still they are using that the QR code that making the payment, UPI payment, they are
Yes,
installed.
yes, yes, yeah, that's right.
Sir, but small petty shops can be called enterprises. I mean, they will not
No,
come under
no,
enterprises.
no, no. It's not about the size. So any business could be an enterprise. It's not about that. If this is a shop, it can never be enterprise. So even the shops can be a private limited company, and they have achieved a massive scale which they cannot manage manually. So certainly the requirement for some ERP is there, right? So you can find certain shops which are operating like a shop, but they are actually running a multi-crore sales in a year, and at the back end they are using some ERPs as well, right? So it's not about the size, it's about the need. Suppose if you don't need any ERP, because the complexity is not there, you are handling single-handed some business, then probably you might not be needing it, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Saminathan, you raised the hand.
Yes, sir. Also, even in a financial year, even in a single transaction will constitute a business.
Of course. Okay. Any other questions which you are, able to recall, which you wanted to discuss or ask on any of the experience you had until now with the ERPs?
Sir, I need one clarity. Say for the cloud computing, there are certain benefits are there. In ERP, certain benefits are there. Uh, uh, See, in both cases, what are the similarity? What is the differentiation, sir?
Okay. So cloud computing is basically, doing the things on somebody else's server, right? So that's the main difference. And ERP is a software which facilitates your business processes to work the way you want them to work, right? So ERP is a software where inventory module, fixed asset module, sales module, purchase module, production module, debtors, creditors, accounts receivable, accounts payable module, right? Financial statement preparation module are there, right? But this server either is accessible from your own servers, which you have maintained in-house, or you are accessing somebody else servers to use this ERP or the softwares, right? So cloud computing is basically when I leverage the somebody else's servers, and ERP is the software which I have purchased from a software company for my business purposes. Getting my point?
Okay, sir. Also, one of the point in ERP also we can use the cloud computing.
Yes, yes, yes. In ERP as well, you can use cloud computing.
Okay.
So cloud computing is simply facilitating you, you know, to avoid the unwanted, investments into the servers and the systems in house.
Okay, it is the ERP system. The cloud computing is the one of the facilitator.
Right?
Cloud computing is the facilitator of ERP.
No, 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 no. It's not. Cloud computing is the facilitator of ERP. So ERP is the software which you have purchased for your company business operations, right? Now you can use ERP either via your own servers or you can leverage somebody else's servers. So if you are leveraging somebody else's servers, that would be a cloud computing, right? But ERP remains the same.
Okay, ERP is the main source which we can use internally or externally.
Correct, correct, correct.
Okay.
Okay. Now cybersecurity in accounting. So because we are dealing with a lot of accounting work and we are trying to optimize, that by using the technology available at our disposal. So this comes with certain risks. And one of the greatest risk is the cybersecurity, right? So protecting financial information is crucial to prevent the unauthorized access and the data breaches. So there is one law as well available in India which guides what are the repercussions for the people who are trying to steal your data. So there is a Information Technology Act 2000 which was duly amended in 2008, which governs the collection, storage, and the transmission of the financial data, and non-compliance with this data protection laws can lead to heavy financial penalties as well as the reputational damage for the organization, right? So there are some laws as well available which protect us from getting defrauded or cyber crime, and also it casts certain responsibilities on the shoulders of the management to understand what their responsibilities are if they are leveraging the technology, right? It's not the other way around, that if something happens, then you have some rights, so you have some responsibilities as well within the act. Organizations have the legal and ethical obligations to disclose cyber security incidents with the financial implications. So suppose if there is any threat which you have noticed on your ERPs or on your systems, where you think your data or the financial information has been stolen by somebody or compromised otherwise, there is a requirement to report this incident within a certain time frame so that users of the financial statements, or the stakeholders of the companies will get to know that the company's financial data has been stolen or compromised, right? It's not that if something has happened, you just keep fingers on your lips and don't tell or don't disclose it. There is a requirement to disclose these incidents if there are any reported, right? Cybersecurity incidents can affect financial reporting through the financial losses, reputational damage, and the legal consequences, right? Reporting guidelines of the various regulators such as Security Exchange Board of India, Reserve Bank of India, etc., address the disclosure of the cybersecurity incidents in the financial statements. So, the listed companies, are governed by the SEBI rules.
Yes, sir.
Yes, and one of the most talked about, requirement is that if there is any, loss of financial information which was not yet made public, then it is very serious, issue on the part of the company, right?
Yes,
Now,
sir.
suppose if the company is using some ERP or the cloud computing technologies or whatever they are using, and somehow, some cyber uh, attack has been, there by some hackers, and they were able to steal, the information which the company otherwise wouldn't have disclosed to the general public, then those people who have stolen those financial information about the company have a superior information available with them. And because the company is listed on the stock exchange, so they can know or predict the future results which the company would be producing in some time, right? So they gain advantage on a private information, and they can make some trades which are beneficial to them in the market, right? So that is called the insider trading, right?
Yes, sir. And the penalty also is very huge on that.
Right. So this is also one of the risk the company carries whenever there are any such breach of information happens. So SEBI requires companies to report if there are any incidents reported in by into the companies where the company believes that their financial data loss has happened, or the data has been stolen by somebody. So if they don't report, then there could be financial penalties as well by the SEBI onto those companies which fail to report these incidents on a timely basis. Similarly, there similar laws are there by RBI as well for banks and NBFCs. What are the common cybersecurity threats? Phishing attacks, malware attacks, ransomware, insider threats, denial of service, and supply chain. So, what do you mean by phishing attacks? So phishing attacks are nothing but some sort of emails or messages which are sent by these hackers on the official email IDs or the mobile numbers of the person who are working with that company, and as soon as they click on that link, their system gets hacked, right? So that is called phishing attack. So as soon as you click on those links, your system is hacked. Even without your knowledge, they will be able to steal the data which was there available on your system, right? What are the malware attacks? Involve infecting computers or networks with malicious software that can steal the data or disrupt the operations. So they can you know insert the data, insert the software, malicious software onto your system, and that software will extract the data and send to them without your knowledge. Ransomware attacks, the example which I have taken for the All India Medical, where some hackers had hacked the All India Medical system for 3 full days, and they were asking for ransom money, right? So if they pay the ransom money, then only they will release the ERP back, or system back to the AIMS. So until then, AIMS was not even able to access their own information, right? So that's called ransomware attack. So it happens. Insider threats. Insider threats involve actions by employees or other insiders who have the access to the sensitive data and they can share that data with their friends and relatives. Possible, not possible?
Yes, sir. Possible, sir.
Possible. Denial of service attacks. Have you ever experienced that you are just opening a website and the website is getting crashed or it is not responding as expected because millions of users are accessing the same website at the very same time?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
We had experience during the COVID time. We are unable to call each other on the moment when they announced the outbreak.
Right, right. So it has happened, and it also happens sometimes when we start filing our income tax returns on the very last minute,
Also during results, sir.
right? And also during the results, all the students are visiting the ICAI website to see their results. So sometimes they face some lag, right? So this is called denial of service attacks because the website is so overwhelmed that millions of users or people are simply asking the same information from that website, so that website feels what is happening with me today, right? So it simply denies your request, so that is called denial of service.
Sir, one thing we faced at during that train Takal booking, that time no,
Yeah.
it's very difficult to book the ticket at the time.
Correct,
Denial of
correct,
service.
correct. IRCTC website also gets hacked, right, at the 10 a.m. when we start using the Tatkal booking, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. And the supply chain attacks. Supply chain attacks involve compromising third party software or the hardware to gain access to a system or the network, right? So, suppose if your company is doing a manufacturing and they are supplying, multiple trucks or, the uh, uh, rate freight carriages, right? So that information is also updated onto that company who is actually helping you or assisting you with the supply chain, right? For example, IRCTC chain, if you are supplying some material via railways, right? So if that information is shared with your supplier who is actually acting as an agent for you to supply that material to third party, and because you are sharing some information with that, so that information can also be used by that person for some other purpose because it is already shared or they have gained access to your information, right? So these are the common cybersecurity threats or the risks which we have whenever we use it for our advantages. Now, proactive measures to mitigate cybersecurity risk. What are those? Which will help us in reducing or mitigating these risks. Password management. So I should suggest that every employee will have a very strong password and they continue to change them on a regular basis, right?
Yes, sir. Using the uppercase and special character like that.
Yeah. So you get the message from your banks, for example, State Bank, ICICI Bank, that your password is 180 days old. Please change it.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
So
Especially State Bank is very strict in those things, sir.
correct. So this is one of the action which those banks are taking and reminding all their customers to change the passwords because it is very old and it is more prone to compromise. Correct.
Yes.
Encryption protect sensitive data during transmission. So ERP should be, capable of encrypting the data parcels very well so that whatever the information you are sending via emails to your colleagues or, you are uploading files onto the ERP, which is getting downloaded by somebody else from your ERP within the same organization, they are all encrypted. So if they are not encrypted, they are prone to risk. If they are encrypted, then they are less prone to risk, right? Access control, preventing the unauthorized access, like the example I took. that if you try to log in from some different device, you get the notification on your original device which was registered for accessing this software or ERP, right? So if this feature is enabled, then it will pop up a notification before the other person gets logged in. So if you see the notification on your Gmail that somebody is trying to log in into your Gmail, and if it is not you, then what you will do? Will you allow or will you disallow?
Disallow.
Disallow, right? So that is the access control feature which we can have, right? Network security, firewalls, right? So we can implement McAfee or some other quick heal softwares or the firewall softwares to protect our systems from these cyber attacks. Employees training, we need to train the employees that they shouldn't be clicking on any links, or they shouldn't be responding any emails which they think are not official emails, right? Or are not from the right email ID or authorized email ID. So this training we need to continuously, impart to our employees. Data backup, adequate and frequent data backup policy should be there, right? It's not like that people are continuously doing the accounting and system is not taking the backup, and someday the system gets crashed and we are left with nothing. So daily backups are a ideal policy the organizations follow. So after the close of the business, systems are given the command to start taking the backup, right, on a daily basis, and few organizations sometimes take the backups twice in a day. And furthermore, it's not only, they are not only maintaining the backup at one place, they are also, many organizations are also maintaining backup at different locations, right? So that if one location servers are compromised, then other location server can be used to get the all the data backed up, right? So good data backup policy should also be there. And incident response planning. So as and when the incident has occurred, that is some hacker has get access into your system, so we should have disaster management planning system already in place, that how we will be handling this incident now. So procedure for detecting, containing and mitigating the impact of the cyber stack, this should be clearly and well defined in advance, right? Rather than thinking what we need to do after the incident has occurred, right? Any questions?
No, sir. Clear, sir.
Are you uh, liking this chapter which is introduced in your curriculum? Is it helpful?
It's really helpful, and it's an insight that the technologies is really important. We have to enhance the knowledge parallelly in addition to the accounting.
Correct. Okay. Now, so until now we are well versed using the ERPs. We know how we were using the internet, and now there are some future technologies as well, which would be shaping the world altogether differently, and they will be so much transformative that we never expected before. And one of the future technologies is the blockchain. What is the blockchain?
It's a transparent ledger, sir, to enabling secure and immutable transactions.
Right. So blockchain is a decentralized. So it is not centralized. What is the difference between centralization and decentralization?
I mean, segregating of this one, what do you say, sir? Into separate steps, sir, separate blocks. Unless in keeping in one single block, they are separating it through multiple blocks and dividing the data.
So blockchain is basically a working on a decentralized way of data handling. So it is not about, some information is handled centralized in a centralized manner, and is available at one place only, which from one source only, which can be verified from. Right now, blockchain is working on a decentralized mechanics, where the information piece can be verified on a real time basis, because it is available at different sources, so every person has the same information at the same time, because it is a transparent ledger as well. Right, so it is a decentralized and transparent ledger that enables security and immutable transactions. Unlike traditional centralized systems, blockchains offer distributed network where information is shared and verified by multiple participants, eliminating the need for intermediaries and enhancing the data integrity. Right? So now we are no more dependent on one person, one organization, one location, on one thing to verify a particular data, because it is readily available on a real time basis with all the participants who are part of this, and they can verify themselves. Right, so from a financial statement preparation perspective, how the blockchain would be useful: blockchain holds immense potential to streamline the process, enhance transparency, and improve the accuracy and reliability of the financial reporting. How come? Enhance transparency. Blockchain technology provides decentralized and immutable ledger where transactions are recorded and stored in a transparent and tamper-proof manner. This increased transparency and ensures that financial data is accurately captured and can easily be audited, prompting trust and reliability in the financial reporting. So auditors who wanted earlier to have the data from the client, so they place the request to the client to share the data, then client accepts that data from their ERP, share it with the auditors. Right, so in this process the client could have manually change the data in the reports or the files which they were sharing with the auditors. Right now, as a precaution, auditors started asking to generate the reports in front of their eyes. Right, or maybe to provide some access to their ERPs directly, so that they can themselves download those reports. Right, but still then there might be many information which auditors were not having from the reliable source, except to rely upon whatever they were receiving. Right now, using the blockchain, they will be having a complete audit trail, that this data, whichever is whatever is available or made available to them, is actually the same data that which the client has. Right, and it is a verified thing, verified data. Improved data integrity. Blockchain's distributed ledger ensures that each transaction is verified and encrypted. Right, so every data is which whatever is flowing on the blockchain technology is encrypted, preventing unauthorized modifications or tampering. So nobody can modify or tamper the data and on any of the levels. Right, this feature enhances the data security, reducing the risk of fraudulent activities and errors in the financial reporting. Streamlined audit processes. Blockchain technology enables real-time access to the financial data, eliminating the need for time-consuming and manual data reconciliation process. Auditors can directly access to the blockchain ledger to verify the transaction, reducing the audit time and enhancing efficiency in the financial reporting. So, although this technology has not yet started being used at this point in time, but this is a future technology. Right, we are expecting that blockchain will come and it will be used going forward, but on today's date no organization is using the blockchain for maintaining their financial statements or financial records or getting the audit done. But this is what we are expecting once this technology gets global acceptance and approval, and this will be the game changer. Enhanced security. Blockchain incorporates advanced cryptographic algorithms, making it highly secure against unauthorized access or data breaches. Financial data stored on the blockchain is encrypted and protected. minimizing the risk of the data manipulation, right? And strengthening the security. So basically, four key benefits which blockchain has: enhanced transparency. So the data or information is transparently available. Improved data integrity, audit processes are more streamlined, and security is enhanced. What are others? Simplified reconciliation. So because blockchain's ledgers are decentralized, so there is very lesser need to reconcile anything, because these ledgers are auto reconciled, and they completely eliminates the need for reconciliation activity. So reconciliations would be go away as soon as the blockchain technology is used for the accounts or bookkeeping, right? Cost reduction, because there are a lot of reconciliations which we are preparing today, and if they get eliminated, then the time will be saved, cost will be saved. So there wouldn't be any third party confirmations, balance confirmations, or the PO confirmation would be required, because it is already available in terms of audit trail created by the blockchain itself, right? So this has to be available automatically, right? And hence audit trail, like I have been mentioning. So blockchain, maintains a complete audit trail, which is transparent and traceable for all the activities which are transacted through the blockchain technology. By identification and investigation of any irregularities or discrepancies are also facilitated. Real time financial reporting, because everything is real time, so financial information is also available on a real time basis, right? So that is the advantage of the blockchain. Anything which you might have heard or about the blockchain which you want to share or ask anything?
Sir, I think a couple of banks that tried in the blockchain concept for the trade finance like that KYC storing like that. And ICAI
Mhm.
also is they are developing the blockchain audit. How can we can use it along with the C and AG?
That is all under ideation and development phase, right? And we will see altogether some different ways of working once the blockchain becomes actually operational.
Yes, sir. They only they started the implementation. That the idea is in the research page only, not in the development stage.
Correct. Okay, what are the examples of using the blockchain? Just imagine a finance professional working for a multinational corporation that engages in complex supply chain operations. With blockchain technology, company can create a decentralized ledger that records every step of the supply chain process, starting from the raw material sourcing to the final product delivery to the customer, right? So blockchain can actually document the entire process from the step one to the last step, that is purchasing the raw material, and till the final product delivery to the customer. Each transaction is securely recorded on the blockchain, providing a real-time visibility and the transparency to all the stakeholders involved. The finance professional can easily access the blockchain to verify the authenticity and the accuracy of the transaction, ensuring the compliance with the regulatory requirements and building the trust with the customers, investors, and the auditors. Right. So blockchain will actually, document the complete audit trail of whatever is happening. So it documents the purchases, it documents the manufacturing, it documents the PO, it documents the invoice, it documents the delivery, dispatch, it documents the collection, right? So you don't need to verify the things yourself the way you are doing at in current uh, scenario, by looking at different reports: purchase report, sales report, collection report, invoice report, open POs, dispatch reports, right? So we don't need to reconcile all these reports, us. It is automatically taken care by the blockchain. Consider a finance professional responsible for conducting an audit of a large e-commerce platform. Traditionally, audit involves manually reviewing the numerous financial transactions and reconciling data from different sources, which can be time consuming and prone to errors. However, with the blockchain technology, e-commerce platform can implement a blockchain-based payment system that automatically records the timestamps every transaction, right? So as and when you purchase anything on Flipkart or Amazon, it gets time stamped that you have made this purchase, you have made a payment via bitcoins or another coins, whoever is on blockchain, and it automatically debits or credits your ledger, the coins ledger, right? So it gets documented at the very same time, right? During the audit process, the finance professional can access the blockchain ledger to instantly verify the transaction details, reconcile the data, and ensure compliance with the accounting standards and the regulatory guidelines. This streamlined approach improves the audit efficiency, reduces the risk of human error, and enhances the accuracy of the financial reporting, right? So until then, blockchain actually starts picking up in practical life. Until then, we continue to read about the blockchain more so that we stay relevant. So as and when it gets implemented and adopted, we should be ready to use it, right? So that's what we should be looking for. Stay relevant. Okay. Artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence, as I previously mentioned, is nothing but a LLM, based on the LLM, large language model, right? So what is AI? AI refers to the simulation of the human intelligence in machines, enabling them to perform the task that would typically require a human intervention, right? So AI actually is able or capable to do those activities or those tasks which otherwise require human involvement or intervention, right? So without human, AI can do those things without human intervention. That is the specialty AI carries. And that's why, everybody is worried about what AI will do in the future, whether it will lead to a massive job losses and create significant unemployment globally or not, right? So that's the $1 million question, roaming in everybody's mind today, right? So, although we are very excited to use AI, but we are very worried to what it will do with our careers, right? Apart from the aspects of the automation, accuracy, fraud detection, cost saving, the most important feature is predictive analysis. What is the predictive analysis?
Estimation. Estimate.
Estimation, right? Future estimate, future prediction, what will happen in future, where we will reach, what is the budgeted number, and what would be the actual number which we are heading towards, right? So AI can actually tell the CFO that, boss, you made a budget of rupees 100 crores, but the way you are incurring the cost for last 2 months and basis on your past years data or past trends, I can see you will exceed the budget by 20 crores. You will end up having a expense incurred of 120 crore on this project, right? So the CFO is now more equipped beforehand to take corrective measures to reduce the budget cost so that it doesn't exceed the budgets at the year end, which otherwise would have taken significant manual efforts on the part of us doing it manually, right? So AI can do a predictive analysis at a click uh, away, right? Which otherwise would have taken a week's time or sometimes months, depending on the complexity of the project details, right? AI can be used to analyze large amounts of data and make the predictions about the future trends, which can be useful for forecasting financial performance and identifying the potential risks. So the best, thing AI is doing for us is the predictive analysis or forecasting of the future trends, which we cannot imagine AI can calculate basis on the past trend and the industry trends evolving. Thus, AI has the potential to transform the accounting profession by enabling the accountants to provide more accurate and timely financial information to their clients. So, if we become friends with AI, then certainly we can use AI for our benefits, right? So we need to learn how AI is going to be a game changer. What are the key strengths of AI which we can leverage as a human and excel in our profession going forward, right? So that's the thing which we should start thinking about. Artificial intelligence and the machine learning are the technologies that enable computers to learn and perform tasks without being explicitly programmed to do so. Right? What does this statement means? What do you mean by machine learning?
Machine
What
learning
is
that,
ML?
yeah, QR code.
No, 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 not the QR code. Machine learning. It is machine learning. Okay, have you seen the movie The Robot, Rajnikant movie?
Yes, sir.
Sir, it is the system where a machine learns the data and improve their performances.
Correct, correct. So machine, observes what humans are doing, right? What was expected output which humans were trying to extract. So machine observes these patterns, and basis on these patterns, they improvise themselves to produce the desired output going forward. So that is called machine learning. So machine is learning by observing the patterns. Getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, for that, no explicitly that program need not be done for that particular
Correct,
task.
correct. So even if there is no command in the system or there is no program written by any software professional, but machine because has the learning ability or capability, right? So machine is learning on its own and try to perform those tasks even which were not programmed or coded or commanded, right? So that is called machine learning. So machine learning is the technology which is evolving now, right? So AI and ML together will transform the things completely, right? So AI and ML are having a significant impact on the accounting profession, enabling accounting professionals to automate routine tasks, improve the decision making process, and reduce the errors. There are certain movies which are there which you can just watch uh, as and when you get time, so that you get to know how machines are becoming smart and smarter day by day, and someday they may take the human control, right? So that is shown in those movies, although very fictional, but that can become reality, nobody knows. Okay, what are the benefits of the AI and the ML when used in accounting? After all, we are accountants, we should be worried about accounting, right? So, automated data entry. So, AI and ML algorithms can process and extract data from invoices. They can read the PDF invoices, receipts, and other documents, reducing the need for us to read those and do the manual entry. If programmed, AI and ML algorithms can also review the bank statements, pass the entries in the system, followed by a bank reconciliation, thereby automating the entire process, saving the time and improving the efficiency. So, what they are doing, they are simply reading the invoices, booking them, recording them, making the journal entry, crediting, debiting the ledgers, right? And they are looking at the bank statement. If the payments are made or collected, they will record them as well. They will again, debit credit the suppliers or the customer's account. They will reconcile the bank statements with your ledgers, and they will completely automate or do it without any human involvement, right? So they have the capability to handle all this. Fraud detection. AI can help detect frauds by analyzing large amounts of data and identifying the patterns that may indicate fraudulent activity, right? So AI are equipped enough to detect something unusual happening in your system. So if there is any unusual activity or pattern is observed, then AI can flag it off to you, right, or the senior management to whom it is authorized to flag, and they can certainly see what is going around, right? Financial forecasting, machine learning, ML can be used to develop the predictive models that can forecast financial performance based on the historical data, market trends, and other factors, right? So, India's 115 revenue from contracts with customers. I hope all of you must have already covered, right? And you know what India's 115 requirements are, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, in India's 115, you must have studied or observed that it requires you to recognize the revenue only if the performance obligations are satisfied. Correct?
Yes, sir. And also the probable that the amount, sir, the collectability.
Yes, sir.
Right. Correct. Now, suppose if you have given a discount voucher to your customer, and whether the customer will come back and avail the discount voucher or not, that you do not know, or you know.
We will not know, sir.
Right? You do not know until the customer comes back and actually avails. But AI can know whether the customer will come or not basis on the past behavior. So AI is observing the behavior of all your customers, and it can give you a predictive analysis that out of 1 lakh customers, how many customers are expected to turn up and avail that discount voucher which you have offered to them at the time of making the initial purchase, right? The discount voucher for the subsequent purchase. Because if 80% customer returns, you need to factor in 80%. If 70% returns, you need to factor in 70%. But how much percentage customers will return to avail that discount, that you do not know, but AI knows, right? So AI can facilitate that predictive analysis uh, accurately and fastly than the human can do, right? Accounting automation. AI can analyze financial statement and other data to identify errors, inconsistencies, making accounting more efficient and accurate, right? And the tax compliance. So they can simply do the tax compliance as well on your behalf. You don't need to, spend so much time and energies in doing that. And AI can do that, provided they know which taxes, income tax or GST or what all other taxes are applicable on you. So you just need to feed the system that these are the taxes which are applicable on us, and they can tell you what are the compliances which you are missing on, and you can pick up those to be compliant. What are the challenges with the AI? Data privacy. Because you are using the chat gpt, certainly you are uploading the documents on the chat gpt to get the summaries, right? But you don't know whatever the documents you have uploaded are now sitting within the chat gpt server system, right? Anybody else who shouldn't ideally have the access to that document can have it now, because you have uploaded the document on the chat gpt, right, for getting the summary generated. But that document which was yours is now shared. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Suppose if that artificial intelligence is created that trailer made for the particular user, then the data protection is possible for that.
It depends how the technology evolves, right? Because at this point, these large language models are, improvising further as the people are interacting with them, right? So they are simply improvising. So, earlier it was Chat GPT, then Chat GPT 2.0, then Chat GPT 3, now Chat GPT 4, and now I have seen that Chat GPT 5 is also on its way, right? So all these versions are the upgraded versions of the same AI tool, which is getting better day by day by more and more interactions. So data privacy, security concerns, technical complexity, and training to employees in an organization to use the AI are the challenges which the organization has in their uh, uh, decision to use the AI. These are the challenges. Okay, what is the example of AI in financial reporting? XYZ, a large multinational corporation, needs to prepare its financial statements according to the Ind AS. The company has a vast amount of the financial data stored in various formats, including the spreadsheets, PDFs, scanned documents. Manually extracting and analyzing this data is a time consuming activity and error prone on the part of the human beings. By implementing the AI driven optical character recognition OCR technology, the company automates the data extraction process from the diverse source and converts it into the structured formats. This enables seamless analysis and the financial reporting. Now, one of the example could be, for example, under India's 115, there are a lot of contracts with multiple customers the organization might have entered into, right? All those contracts are signed and executed on a bond paper, and those contracts are running into 50 pages, 100 pages with each customer, and there are 10,000 customers, right? So 10,000 customers, with one customer there are 2 3 agreements, and all in all 30,000 40,000 agreements are there, right? Now if a person is asked to analyze all these agreements, come up with the India's 115 requirements, identify the performance obligations, and all do all this analysis, and do the compliance with India's 115. So what do you think? Is it is a easy activity for us to do manually, or it is difficult one?
Yeah, it's a difficult one, sir, manually.
Difficult one. Now, what AI can help in this? So we can simply upload all these contracts with these customers, and ask AI to identify the summaries of these contracts. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right? Basis on those summaries, we will be able to quickly understand what is all there in the contract, right?
Yes,
So
yes,
it
sir.
saves our time to read and analyze those contracts in terms of identification of the performance obligations. I am not saying that whatever the AI produces is 100% accurate and we can simply rely upon that. But what I am saying is he is helping us as an assistant who is reading the contract on our behalf, coming up with the pointed summary to us. And once the summary is ready, I can simply read that summary and understand the contract, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So AI can be helpful in making the things faster and easier for you, but the risk AI carries is it is not giving you 100% accurate result at this point in time. I don't know about the future, but today we cannot completely rely on the output of the AI, right? This enables seamless analysis in the financial reporting, reducing the human efforts and minimizing the risk of errors. Okay. Now, India's and the IT, information technology. What do you think? What is the nexus between the two? Both are starting with I. So, India's is predominantly a principle based framework, and India's consists of specific principles for various accounting topics such as revenue recognition, leasing, financial instruments, employee benefits, consolidations, and many more. These principles provide detailed guidance on how to account for the transactions in accordance with these principles for the measurement and recognition, right? So that's what we have been learning until now, right? Different indices for different items, right?
Yes,
Different
sir.
accounting requirements, different disclosures and presentation requirements. Now for human person, it is very difficult to retain all these requirements of all the indices about all the items, all the presentation, accounting and disclosure requirements, right? We cannot remember all of them, right, with us. And at as and when we are doing this, we need to refer what was the disclosure requirements. We need to follow certain checklist or something like that, right? So for implementation of India's technology will play a key role in automating the process of validating while generating the reports. However, the role of the technology for such processing is directly related to the configuration at the account level and the rule-based validations, but configuration implements predefined validation rules within the system to identify discrepancies. So what I am saying here, instead of me, doing everything, I can leverage the technology to do it for me, right? So what I can do, I can create a account level configuration into my system that this account is belong to debtor category, this account belongs to the creditor category, right? These are the accounts which are belonging to past debtors who are not paying anymore, right? So for that, ECL modeling can be constructed. So I can do all these account level configurations in my system, and basis on that, system can do the processing work for me, or generating those reports which I am looking for, right, for me as per the NDS, right? If the account level configuration is not done properly, then the next phase of using technology will be after the generating the reports only. In such scenario, the technology uses is about applications such as Microsoft Excel and Google Sheets, which can be used to perform these validations from the NDS point of view and then generate the report, right? So India's implementation, although cannot be completely managed by the system or ERP or the AI, but certainly can be facilitated to certain extent, where we will be able to save lot of our time doing the basic stuff and focusing more on the technical stuff, right? So that's what the system or technology can help us in implementing the NDS in our organization, and if already implemented, to continue to do the accounting under the NDS for us. Anything you wanted to ask or discuss?
Sir, machine learning along with the AI, it will give a lot of impact in the field in the near future.
Correct, correct.
That is what I learned from all these slides.
Yeah, correct. All these technologies are just starting, I would say, and they will continue to play a vital role in upcoming years, and maybe 5 years down the line, what we the way we are operating today will completely be transformed. 5 years down the line, I can expect.
So it will like impact, like India is applicable more than 250 crore and above, like that it will impact on the higher industry
Yeah,
initially.
yeah.
The
It will
yeah.
impact everybody. It's not about accounting industry or accountants profession only. It will impact the doctors, engineers, and everybody. So because AI is taking up a greater role in doing a lot of activities which these folks are doing manually today, and later on they will be realizing that this is not the thing they are supposed to do anymore.
Yes, sir. The data collection, data recording, and all these things will go for task. Yes, sir. It's actually a very good learning this particular subject. What you have discussed today, it's very much relevant. So this is a awakening point. So we should be get ready for that future
Stay
part.
relevant. That's the
Yes,
only thing which we need to continuously think and work towards.
yeah. It's a eye opener for us. Thank you so much.
Okay, so that was it from my side on today's session. I hope I was able to impart this topic in a better way through some live examples, and it was insightful for all of you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, session is over, Ashok. Thank you.